Welcome back. In our previous lesson, we learned why a Google account is important, created a Gmail address, set up a strong password, added recovery information, and enabled two-step verification. By now, you should have a Google account that is not only working, but also much more secure. Today, we're going to take the next step. We'll review the security settings of your Google account and make sure everything is set up properly. We'll look at your sign-in settings, recovery options, connected devices, and several important security tools that can help protect your account. By the end of this lesson, you'll know how to check your account security, recognize important warning signs, and feel more confident managing your Google account on your own. If any part of this lesson feels too fast or you're not able to follow along, I encourage you to pause and watch the video again from the beginning. Take your time and review the steps as often as you need. If you're still having trouble, please leave a question in the comments section below. I'll do my best to respond and help you find a solution. Let's get started.
Now let's take a look at the Security and Sign-In section. Think of this area as the Security Control Center for your Google account. Whenever you want to check how secure your account is, this is one of the first places you should visit. Here, you can review important security settings, such as your password, two-step verification, recovery phone number, recovery email address, recent sign-in activity, and the devices connected to your account. These settings help protect your account and make it easier to recover if something goes wrong. As we move through this section, I encourage you to compare these settings with your own account and make sure everything looks correct. Let's begin by looking at your recent security activity.
Let's scroll down a little further. Here you'll find a section called Recent Security Activity. This area shows important security-related actions that have recently taken place on your Google account. For example, you may see a password change, a sign-in from a new device, or changes made to your security settings. Most of the time, these activities are completely normal and were made by you. However, it's a good idea to review this section from time to time. If you see an activity that you don't recognize or something that doesn't look familiar, don't ignore it. Select the activity and review the details as soon as possible. This simple habit can help you identify potential security issues before they become serious problems. Think of this section as your account's security history.
Now let's take a look at the How You Sign In to Google section. This area contains important settings related to how you access your Google account and how you can recover it if needed. Let's begin with your password. A strong password is still one of the most important parts of account security. A good password should be long, difficult to guess, and different from the passwords you use on other websites. If the same password is used across multiple accounts, a security issue on one website could put your other accounts at risk. Next, let's look at two-step verification. Think of two-step verification as a second lock on your account. Even if someone learns your password, they won't be able to sign in without completing an additional verification step, such as confirming the sign-in on your phone. Whenever possible, I strongly recommend keeping this feature enabled. Now, let's review your recovery phone number and recovery email. These are your account recovery tools. If you ever forget your password or lose access to your account, Google can use this information to verify your identity and help you regain access. If your phone number or email address has changed, be sure to update it here. Taking a few moments to keep this information current can save you a lot of trouble in the future. As we scroll down a little further, you'll see an option called Authenticator. Google Authenticator is a free app that generates one-time verification codes on your phone. While receiving verification codes by text message is convenient, using an Authenticator app is generally considered a more secure method. This is especially useful for people who travel internationally on a regular basis. When you're abroad, there may be times when you cannot receive text messages on your phone number. In those situations, using an Authenticator app is often more reliable and convenient than relying on text message verification. Because the app generates verification codes directly on your device, you can still access them even when text messages are unavailable. For important accounts, and especially for frequent travelers, I highly recommend using Google Authenticator. Now let's install Google Authenticator. If you're using an iPhone, open the App Store. If you're using an Android phone, open the Google Play Store. Search for Google Authenticator and install the app.
Once the installation is complete, return to your Google account and select Set up Authenticator. A QR code will appear on the screen. Open the Google Authenticator app and scan the QR code. After scanning, your Google account will be connected to the app. You should now see a 6-digit verification code being generated inside Google Authenticator. Whenever Google asks for additional verification, you can use this code instead of receiving a text message. It may seem like an extra step at first, but it is one of the most effective ways to protect your account.
Next, let's look at Google Prompt. Google Prompt allows you to approve sign-in requests directly from a notification on your phone instead of entering a verification code. When you try to sign in on a new device, a notification will appear on your phone asking if it's really you. If it is, simply tap Yes to approve the sign-in. There's no need to wait for a text message or manually enter a verification code. This makes Google Prompt one of the easiest and most convenient authentication methods available. It is especially recommended for people who regularly use more than one device, such as a computer, smartphone, or tablet. Since your phone is usually with you, approving a sign-in request is often quick and simple. Google Prompt combines convenience with strong security, which is why it has become a popular authentication option for many users. If available, I recommend enabling this feature.
Next, let's take a look at backup codes. Think of backup codes as emergency keys provided by Google in case you're unable to access your account through normal verification methods. For example, if you lose your phone, cannot access your Authenticator app, or are unable to complete two-step verification, backup codes can be used to sign into your account. Backup codes are very useful, but they are not always necessary for the average user. Some guides recommend printing or writing down your backup codes and storing them somewhere safe. However, for most personal users, I don't strongly recommend doing this. Writing down backup codes and keeping copies in multiple places can be similar to making extra copies of your house key and leaving them in different locations. While it may provide convenience, it can also introduce new security risks that would not otherwise exist. For many seniors, keeping track of backup codes can become an additional responsibility and may even create confusion later.
On the other hand, backup codes can be very useful for administrators who manage company accounts or accounts for small organizations. These users often have established security procedures and secure storage methods for important recovery information. For that reason, we will not be setting up backup codes during this lesson.
Now let's take a look at Your Devices. This section shows all of the devices that are currently signed in to your Google account. You may see devices such as a Windows computer, a Mac, an Android phone, an iPhone, or a tablet. Take a moment to review the list and make sure you recognize all of the devices shown here. These should be devices that you currently use or have used to access your Google account. If you see a device that you don't recognize, or one that you no longer use, you can select it to view additional details.
It's common for old computers or phones to remain signed in long after they've stopped being used. If a device is no longer yours, it's a good idea to sign it out. This is especially important if you have sold a device, given it to someone else, or lost it. If a device remains signed in, someone else may still have access to your Google account. Google also provides information about recent activity and sign-in history for each device, making it easier to identify anything unusual. Personally, I recommend checking this section every few months. Just as you occasionally check that the doors and windows of your home are locked, reviewing your devices is a simple way to help keep your account secure. Take a moment now and make sure every device listed here belongs to you.
Now let's take a look at Enhanced Safe Browsing. Enhanced Safe Browsing is a Google security feature designed to help identify dangerous websites, phishing attempts, and online scams more quickly. When this feature is enabled, Google continuously analyzes known malicious websites, suspicious links, and other online threats. If you attempt to visit a website that may be dangerous, Google may display a warning to help protect you before you continue. Of course, no security feature can prevent every threat. However, Enhanced Safe Browsing provides an additional layer of protection while you're browsing the internet. It can be especially helpful for people who frequently click links received through email or text messages. Online scams are becoming more sophisticated every year. For that reason, unless you have a specific reason not to, I recommend keeping this feature enabled. Good security is not created by a single tool.
It comes from multiple layers of protection working together. Enhanced safe browsing is one of those important layers.
Today, we explored the Google Security Center together. We reviewed recent sign-in activity, two-step verification, recovery information, Google Authenticator, Google Prompt, backup codes, device management, and enhanced safe browsing. These are some of the most important security features available for your Google account, and understanding them can help you stay safer online. If you set up Google Authenticator during this lesson, I encourage you to practice using it. Try signing in on a different device and become familiar with how the verification process works. A little practice now can make things much easier if you ever need it in the future. Remember, a Google account is much more than just an email account. It protects your photos, documents, contacts, and many of the online services you use every day. That's why keeping your account secure is so important. I recommend visiting the Security and Sign-In section from time to time and reviewing your security settings. Just a few minutes of review can help prevent many common security problems. In our next lesson, we'll continue learning simple ways to make your digital life safer, easier, and more confident. Thank you for watching.